Hey guys, it's Melissa with Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I wanted to talk to you today about something that happened to me recently, and it really brought up something to me that I thought I should share with you all, which is not allowing other people to dim your light or to make you feel bad about yourself or to make you feel like you should be living your lives a certain way. So the other day, I had someone give me what they thought was helpful advice, right? It was like I was dealing with having sick children and things like that, and the advice was basically like, oh, well, maybe part of the reason they're being sick so much is because you're busy and they're basically like they're trying to get your attention, which is like, okay, But the way it was said to me was in a very derogatory way, very judgmental way, and a way that used guilt to make me feel bad. It was like, I know you have this new business that you're doing and you have your podcast and all of that, but maybe you're just too busy. Like maybe you're not doing what you should be doing, basically, is what the person said and the message that I got. And I've talked about before how everything does need to be in balance, and it did bring to my attention that yes, I do need to be better about balancing everything. However, the reason that this person said what they said was not so much to be helpful as it was to pass judgment or throw guilt on someone else and make them feel bad. And it struck a nerve with me. It really did. It was like a trigger. I thought, I didn't ask you for your opinion. I didn't ask you for your advice. You just gave this to me. It wasn't really advice so much as it was judgment. And who are you to judge me? You don't know my life, and you don't know, everything I go through. Nobody can know that. Even people who are close to you don't always know everything you're going through unless they're walking in your shoes. And so for me, for somebody to just pass judgment like that, especially when it's someone their life is not perfect either, it was really irritating, but I knew more than anything else this was a trigger and a test for me. So I had two choices here. I could either lash out and respond angrily, which anymore, I just don't want to do that. It takes too much of my energy to get upset with people. I can still show that I have boundaries by simply not responding to that person. And, telling that person, I'm not going to talk to you anymore if you are going to continue talking to me this way. So that's one way to hold your boundary. You don't have to have a huge confrontation. You can just simply say, I do not appreciate your advice. I didn't ask for it, so please refrain from giving me any unless I ask you for it. Or I'm not going to talk to you if you continue to talk to me in that way. And you don't have to have a huge confrontation. You can just simply say you're not going to stand for it and you're not going to let somebody bulldoze you, which is what this person was trying to do. They were just trying to make me feel bad and in some way guilty that I'm trying to do all of these things. And the thing is, I know that I have responsibilities and people I need to take care of. This is not changing that. I still take care of people. It might have shown me maybe the balance might be a little off right now, which is something that I would need to work on. But that's, there are also a lot of ways that you can bring something up to someone. And the way this was done was not in a constructive way. And I don't feel like, first of all, I don't think that you should ever give people advice through text message, first of all, because you can't read someone's tone in a text message. So unless they're just asking you for advice and it's very casual, if you feel like you have to talk to someone about something, don't do it through text. That's one thing. But I don't know. It's just, to me, it really struck a nerve because it felt like someone laying guilt, and I hate that. It's like, don't do that to me. But I'm not going to change who I am or what I'm doing if I feel that I'm aligned with it and it's what feels right for me. I'm not going to let what other people say affect what I do, because I have to be aligned with myself and with my higher purpose. If someone doesn't necessarily like what I say or what I do, that's their business. It's not my business. They don't have to like me. They don't have to like what I say. They don't have to like how I behave. I'm the one who has to live with myself. And I'm not going to let someone else and what someone else thinks of me change who I am. And that took a long time to get to that place, because a long time ago I would have caved and I would have said, well, what do I need to do? Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't know. And I just really feel like maybe some of you are going through the same thing, where people try to give you advice or they try to make you feel guilty for certain things. And I just want you to stand your ground and know that you should never be made to feel bad for being who you are. We're not going to please everyone all of the time, and there's not even any possible way you could do that all of the time, because if you're pleasing everyone else, you're not pleasing yourself. So you're going to be drained and angry and resentful and bitter because you're trying to please everyone else and you're unhappy. So you've got to stick up for who you are. And so the message that I thought that I should really convey to you, because I did realize that it was a trigger. I knew that right away, but it took a good probably 15 minutes for me to realize that. You know what I mean? Like I spent the first 15 minutes hurt and like, how could these people say that to me, and what do you mean, and all of that. And then I realized, wait, this is not my problem. This is on them. And if that person doesn't feel bad saying something like that to me or trying to make me feel guilty when I'm doing the best that I can, that's not helpful in any way. Criticizing someone else isn't helpful to them. And that saying, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, is true. If you're just telling people what they could do to be better without actually trying to help them or show them, you're not helping. You're being part of the problem because you're just adding on more weight to that person without actually doing anything that's helpful for them. So after my 15-minute pity party of how could this person say that or do that, when I realized that it was a trigger and that I had two choices. I could either get mad, continue to be mad, continue to be hurt, continue to be upset, and let it bother me, or I could stop and realize that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what she thinks or what he thinks or what they think. It doesn't matter. It only matters what I think, and when I look at the situation, what do I really see? And there was a lesson in that I need to be better about balancing certain things, but I also know that what the person said wasn't true. At least not to the extent that this person had made it out to be. Like, it was a way over exaggeration of what was actually happening. So I chose to take that just as a message that, yes, maybe I need to make sure that things are more in balance. But no, I'm not going to acknowledge this person or the things that they're saying that are negative, because I want this person to know that that's not okay with me. Like, it's not okay for you to just hand down advice when I don't ask you for it. And I know some of you are probably going through the same kinds of things. It's especially hard when you deal with family members, because they are your family members and there is a certain level of respect, but at the same time, it has to be both ways. The respect has to come both ways. And so the message I'm getting is not to allow anyone to dishonor you, to stand up for your beliefs and not to let anyone else pull you down to their level. Because that's what a lot of people do. When they're trying to criticize you and whatever, it's something that's happening within them. It's really more about them than it is you. Because if they were really wanting to help you, they wouldn't criticize you, they would just offer you a hand. I mean, it's that simple. You wouldn't feel the need to bring someone else down unless you just felt down yourself. And so, I don't know, I just felt like I had to talk about that because I know that a lot of people go through that. A lot of people have people in their lives who are critical, super critical. And one of the things we talk about, and especially in a purposeful pilgrimage, we talk about not allowing other people to dictate what you do and how you behave and who you are and how you show up. That you don't allow them to do that. And part of that goes along with having healthy boundaries, which I also teach you in a purposeful pilgrimage. And the other part is, if you feel really worthy yourself and you build up self-love and you know who you are and you are true to yourself, no one else can tear you down because you simply don't let them. It doesn't affect you. When you know who you are and how valued and worthy you are, you don't care what other people think. And that's a very, very freeing thing. It's awesome to not really care. Because really, you're the one that has to be happy. And if you're doing things because it pleases other people, you're not going to be happy. So think about that, and if you have people in your life who trigger you, who give you unsolicited criticism, just stop for a moment. Take a breath. If it's face-to-face, you may need to step away from the situation. If it's through text or something like that, just stop for a minute, take a deep breath, and think, what is this really about? What is this about? Is it really about the thing that they're talking about? You know, is there really a problem going on, or is it just a way for them to criticize you? And if it's just that they're being very critical, it's probably something within themselves. So you can feel sorry for them knowing that there's something they're dealing with and that it's not about you. And then you can let it go because you don't need to spend any energy on people who don't respect you or who just, and honestly, I think it's just that they don't respect themselves. If they didn't have anything going on with themselves, they wouldn't really have a need or a reason to be criticizing you. It's like they have to tear down others to build themselves up. So if you're dealing with someone like that, that could be the case, that they're going through something within themselves, and that's why they do it. But stand your ground. Have healthy boundaries. Let them know that's not okay for them to talk to you that way, and until they learn that lesson that you're not talking to them, it's okay to do that. It's okay to take care of you. Because remember, when you honor yourself, you're honoring that inner child. And you're the only one that can take care of that inner child. If you're interested in learning more about how to set healthy boundaries or how to get rid of old limiting beliefs, how to find more self-love, think about joining my program, A Purposeful Pilgrimage. It's still on sale right now. I want everyone to be able to experience it. It's life-changing. Just get on my website and check it out. If you're interested in Reiki, you can check that out too. As always, I really appreciate you listening. If you found this podcast helpful, please share it with others. Please leave stars and comments. I enjoy reading the comments that you guys leave. You're all so sweet. Thank you for that. I hope you have a beautiful day. sending you massive amounts of love and light. Never let anyone else dim your light. You let that light shine brightly. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.